All right, folks, welcome to the video. We're going to be trying something a little bit different this time around. I'm going to actually provide commentary. It's your boy Halo Spades from the Cube Gaming, and what we have here is a matchup of epic proportions. I might have messed that up, but sue me. So we have Blue White Control versus Dimir Inverter here, as the title says on the marquee. And these two are some very skilled players here, and we're about to watch some pretty good magic now.
Good luck, Boo Boo. You too, Boo Boo.
Not that I'm a bad player myself. I'm just saying these guys are really good and talented. As a matter of fact, the gentleman with the bananas shirt, he has only been playing for a small amount of time, and he's learned the game very quickly and has natural skill at this game, whereas the gentleman in the black sweatshirt, he plays a lot longer than I have been playing, but he's also very skilled as well too. So it's also a very big challenge for me to play these gentlemen, and it's also something that helps me level up as a player. And at your shop, what you should be doing is looking for the best player in the shop and someone that you haven't been able to beat, and find a way to beat them, because that's how you level yourself up as a gamer. So the blue-white player is on the play. He won the die roll. They both had to mulligan down to 6 in this game. So it's, obviously you got to make sure you have the most optimal hand because, these guys, they know what each other were playing, mainly because of the fact that, one, they hang out with each other and they talk about it. And the gentleman in the black sweatshirt, he likes to play top-tier decks, as so does the gentleman in the banana shirt. I'm not using their names, mainly because I haven't asked their permission to mention their names on these videos. So at the current time, we'll just leave them as bananas and black shirt. But again, they had the mulligan down to 6, both of them, just because you want to have the most optimal hand, especially against an unknown opponent. You don't know what you're playing against. Even if these guys didn't know what they were playing against, their hands were not optimal, in accordance to what their deck is trying to do. You got to know what your deck is trying to do, and I can't tell you how to mulligan or anything like that. But you always want to keep your best hand, so you should know your deck very well. This is one way of getting into Control's hair and really disrupting what they're doing, is actual hand disruption. Because if you take away a lot of their early turn plays or maybe their early counter spells like syncopates or anything like that could keep you from off of your game, it usually puts you a leg up in the game. So that is why hand disruption in Thoughtseize is so valued in so many different formats. It is valued especially in Pioneer. Definitely sees play in Modern and various decks, Jund, Grixis Death Shadows, amongst many others. I can't remember because I'm not much of a Modern player myself, so I don't keep track of that. I know it's played in Legacy, it's played in Vintages, it's played in Commander, it's played everywhere. So it's a very good card, and there's a reason why it has a high price point. So that is one way of getting into Control player's hand, is just keep making them discard stuff.
That's also not what we want. Ardenvale, go ahead. Grab Island tapped.
Alright, perfect. Could you bring that
Joke's on him. He doesn't know what deck I'm playing.
It's just a lightweight.
In this matchup,
I kind of wish I was playing my janky Esper Brew with Teferis in it. I think that would just make this near unbeatable.
Yep. Like Lil Teferi?
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
I am scared to hear about this janky brew. Apparently, if it's Esper and he's adding the white for Teferi, it's obviously to keep from being able to do instant speed countering or instant speed interference, as you'll find in this match later on, that it really is important to have instant speed interference. So I am not excited about seeing that, because Little Teferi is annoying and I'm not a big fan of it. What are your thoughts on Little Teferi, or any Teferi for that matter? Leave a comment down below. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on it. Don't get me wrong, I will play with Little Teferi. I just don't like it, play it against me. But who does, right? I mean, find me the player that enjoys Little Teferi being played against him, and I'll point out to you a liar.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes, check it before they leave. And if it's not, I'm gonna say you take this back and you make it and you get it.
With matches like this, a lot of people don't expect to see a lot of life point swings, which it shouldn't be, mainly because one deck has a certain type of win con, while the other one is waiting to, pretty much just ultimate out. I don't know what the win con is for the blue-white control player, as I do not have his list. And he always switches it up all the time. Like, he switches it up pretty hard. He throws people for a loop. You think you're going to see blue-white, and then next thing you know, you see Esper, or you might see Jeskai. Well, not Jeskai. He doesn't really like red. But, excuse me. But in these type of matchups, you definitely have to be on your toes.
You're like me at Boys and Girls Club. I call everybody their child.
Cycle a cast out.
Yeah.
You.
Sure.
Planes.
Not everybody combined, but everybody.
I don't remember if
You know what's been surprising to me is that I've not been seeing very much Elspeth, the Sun's champion, in Pioneer. I know it definitely won't see play in Modern because it's way too slow, and I understand Pioneer's a pretty fast format, but it's just a surprise that I'm not seeing control decks run that build. So if you're a control player, let me know why that's not seeing play. Maybe because there's probably better win cons, but what I'd really like to know is if you're controlling the board and then you need something to beat face with, I don't see why that's not a good option to go with. I mean, I guess there's Dream Taller now too, so there's that.
my hands have been really dry. I'm going really heavy on the
Land.
Yeah,
I top
that
deck
pack
mine.
that I got from me, so they'll actually
and
put,
stuff
I put
Omen.
in this deck.
Nice.
At least one of the cards. Archon is Sun Grace.
I'll
Because
respawn.
that,
Okay.
yeah, I take a side in here, and that's
Dig.
helpful.
Yeah.
I've had most of these cards, that's why
That's a pretty good card.
most of them. Everyone is talking about banning dig through time or it should be banned. I'm 50-50 on that. I don't think the card is that powerful given that we don't have fetch lands in the format or ways to fuel the graveyard in a very fast and efficient way without being a graveyard-based deck. But I don't feel like it should be banned. It's one half of me, and then the other half is saying it should be banned because for decks like which are not seeing play, again, I don't know why. There's so much that everyone's locked in on small amount of decks in this format right now, which is a bit surprising again. And I'm using that word a lot, but there's so much opportunity for this format, to be honest with you. So like you can dig through time with the Approach of the Second Sun. So you cast one Approach of the Second Sun, and you can just dig through time, grab it again if you don't have one already in hand, thereby reducing the amount you will need to play. Just because you could just easily get to that second piece and then win off of it again. Unless you're dead next turn, which I highly doubt because you're getting 7 life. And also a lot
Go for it. What'd you pick?
Top, bottom.
When did Pioneer get announced?
October. Mutables.
Drop turn.
I don't know if you have.
Land for turn. Plus one fairy for turn.
So did you crack? Oh, you played one.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you cracked it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Main phase. Gratitude. I should have done this before I did that.
Yeah.
I have 4 of those in the stack.
Bottom. Go.
It's like
Death. So I took a brace of Kiss Charisma.
One, I'll take it.
Again, this is very exciting for some people. However, this type of gameplay does not excite me. The only time you'll ever see me enjoy counter magic is days of old when people would have counter wars, and it was always fun to see that stuff. And then somehow they find a way to just get back into the game just by this counter war stuff. or bluffing that they had something they didn't, and then I don't know. It's just crazy to see that. But this is not my favorite type of play. So if you have a favorite type of play, comment down below and let me know what's your favorite type. Whether you like aggro, combo, alternate win conditions, mill. You just go ahead and let us know what you like.
I also need a death certificate for
Going to enemy both mutants. That's right, yeah. And come in for trade.
Instant kills poison. Not fun.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that was. I was like rolling good, and then the poison saved. And
Now you have a bugbear.
I want
Yeah.
those cards.
No.
yeah, he chose to be reincarnated as a bug bird. He chose to be reincarnated.
Yeah, I picked this card
into
before
a
it
bug
went
bird.
$27.
His
I got it
favorite
when it was
enemy.
like 20.
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff
load
to
myself.
Card Kingdom and got a bunch of store credit. I had
It's like
things from
Blade or
So in the background, you hear me talking about Card Kingdom and store credit. So this is just a time for me to just do a real quick shameless plug and know that I'm not getting paid. I'm not partnered with them. I just use their services because they mostly have cards all the time in stock of whatever it is that I'm looking for. I'm more of a foilaholic, so I trade in a lot of stuff to them
That was a cool thing.
for store credit. And if you have extra lands that you don't need, surprisingly, they'll buy that stuff off of you. And not all lands are very expensive. Basic lands that are not like special, they will give you like 8 cents for them. And then for like full art lands, they give you 80 cents for them. So if you have a box of stuff just laying around, this is a good way to dump off your cards and, get the cards that you need. That's how I was able to get the cards that I need for Pioneer or any other format for that matter.
I've been at 16. I was at 16 until I went on 17.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You went to 17 and then you're going to take 4. But now that's 13.
Go.
And you lose one point.
Yeah,
You have me in a really tough spot.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be.
Yeah, but it's also it's on the top. It's not in the creases and stuff. So it's like
There's my not the best time to get that, but
See ya,
it
what?
works.
But what I need to do
Force
is
of FNM, Charm Strike.
Two Benadryls and just let it sleep.
3-4 flyer.
Put the stuff on it and just let it go, and hopefully that'll stop it. But
Oh.
yeah, but we're almost out of it again. So we have to get even more of it or something.
Yeah.
And
Trigger on the stack.
Sure.
Cast out.
Do 4 damage.
Okay.
Is that equal to or less
bring your
than?
numinal
I will.
dose.
Oh, it
The
is.
trigger
equal.
goes on the stack. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just checks for.
Oh, it checks when it goes
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Screwed
why
either
it's
way.
that's why it's dumb.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, you have
Yeah.
a counter spell or you don't.
Yeah.
Run up the side of it and go. No,
Yeah.
you're gonna rub the side of the people.
All right, so while these guys are sideboarding, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about a Spikes Academy real quick. Again, another shameless plug. Now, I am affiliated with these guys, and I am partnered with them. So if you do end up using their services by going to the link in the description below, you'd actually be helping the channel out a lot, so we could help make more advancements and increase in the production value. But enough of that. Let's get back to focus on Spikes Academy. Now, if you're looking to become a better Magic player and you're trying to become competitive and, not just at the, fun FNM level or things like that, but you're looking to go to the PPTQs. I mean, I don't know what they're called anymore because they changed it up now. But if you are looking to do that, the best way to learn is from people with more skill than you or people that have a lot of knowledge of the game. And why not learn from pros, And at Spikes Academy, you can actually learn from pros. So from people like Paulo Vito Damo de Rosa, from Seth Manfield, from Reed Duke, you have so many different ways of learning, and they offer these courses there. They have a couple of free courses as well on top of paid courses, one-time payments, and then they have monthly payments if you decide to go with a monthly subscription service with them. But it is definitely a good way to learning. If you don't have time to, Google or YouTube up like how to get better at Magic, and you need just like direct straight to the point, then Spikes Academy, and their link is going to be in the description below. If you don't like that course, there's many other courses that you can choose from. But again, that's how I got better at the game, by learning from pro players, have them evaluate my plays. That's the reason why I do these videos, so that, people could have a record of what it is that we're playing, how we're playing, and what could be done differently. Now, if you noticed, the gentleman in the banana shirt, he was using a piece of paper. In case you're wondering, that is a sideboard guide for certain decks and certain matchups that you would play against. That is something that is totally allowed. Now, what I've learned, and this is something I've asked from experience, is you're not allowed to use a electronic device such as a cell phone, tablet, whatever you have that connects to the internet. Mainly because they want to make sure you're not cheating or you don't have someone there watching people and stuff like that. But sideboard guides are totally allowed. I don't know why he would use one for FNM, because this is just FNM. This is not a player's tour, or there's no big money on the line. There's just packs. But hey, to each their own. But you are allowed to use them in any REL rule enforcement level tournament. And now obviously FNM is also rule enforcement level tournament, but it's not as major as one with a lot of judges and head judges per se.
Yeah, I have one like that.
Yeah, no, because I saw the Dolan's veto, and then that was the end of the game.
Use as a reminder block or something.
Variance, dude. If I would have had first, I probably could have done more about it. But I'm silly and undervalue card draw.
Four cards for you, Bob. Two of them are missed colors, which I'm assuming aren't worth anything right now.
This is stuff that,
Yeah.
One thing I plan on doing is learning how to edit on my computer, because all my editing is done on my phone. So if you are a subscriber of the channel, it's totally appreciated, because I'm making do with what I've got. But my goal will be to learn how to edit on Adobe Premiere Pro, which is what I have on my computer. So that way I could, do speed up and time lapses in between sideboards. That way it doesn't take forever. Or I guess I could always cut them out too, which is what I have been doing in the past, but that it's a bit tedious to do so. So again, if you guys subscribe to the channel, that's a good way of supporting. If you like, if you share, you comment, that's another good way of supporting. There's ways you can do it, and it's free. It does not cost you anything to do so. So again, go ahead and hit that like button if you like it. If you don't like it, leave a comment as below why you don't like it, so we could go ahead and improve the channel.
And that's. I don't have.
Me too.
That
Farmland
would take me
go.
a long. That would take me.
Deja vu.
200
Island, go ahead.
Fountain, go.
And that's without me doing anything extra with it.
I'm not scared of your damage.
Sure.
Roughly maybe 5 months. Yeah, I can make $6,000 in 5 months. No.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe 100.
God, all these options.
Clever.
So I have nothing going, I'm listening. The only nickel boss I'm gonna probably pick up right now, while it's cheap, is the Dragon God, whatever. The one from the Spark.
Yeah.
Did I get a foil? And
Let's see.
$15, maybe even 12.
I put up to 1 on top, rest on the bottom. So
Just in
1.
case. Like,
Okay.
Grace's might see
Go
some
ahead.
type of play, some way, shape, or form.
I won't
Arden
be
Vale?
that surprised. Did Grixis side with
Mandatory.
people?
Go.
What do you mean? Grixis. Grixis is a color type.
Kill.
It's
Rude.
Boop ya.
Yep, 17. Oh god, I'm scared of your damage.
Yeah, 1 minute
It's-
time.
no,
Go
no
ahead.
one sided with him
I've played
in
Squadron Hawk.
war.
I know how this
The only
works.
people that sided with him was the Germans.
Glacial Fortress.
No one,
Yeah.
even the bad guys put their differences aside and worked together.
Play
to
another
stop
one?
him. That's how
The
bad
fairy.
Brady was.
Sure.
We did it.
Plus
Did you
1.
win that fight, Tom?
They-
There you go.
The good guys won.
Would you look at that? Everyone's favorite card is on the table now.
Gideon sacrifice. Actually, I think that card did.
Let's see.
Liliana disappeared.
that
No one knows
Lily-
what's going on with her. She disappeared.
Did she re-summon Jocelyn Best? Is that why he is?
No. What she did was she killed him by accident, by trying to cure him, and he ended up becoming a lich because he sold her soul to some
Boop.
demon or some shit.
No,
So she didn't resurrect
Yep.
her. No.
Narset.
Originally, it was 200.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the one card.
There's another card I'm not a big fan of. I actually got my butt handed to me because of this card. Mainly because I had a deck that had a lot of draw abilities. Excuse me. And it prevented my draw abilities. So that wasn't very fun for me. So I'm not a big fan of this card either.
Okay.
But to each their own.
Should have done it first. Oh well.
Field of Ruin.
And she was able to get that first lifted or whatever. But she's still looking for ways to make herself keep her eternal youth or whatever. So she's got a little cycle.
You don't have any of those in foil, do you?
Plus
The
one to
Altar?
fairy.
Originally, she was just like the town healer.
Plus
She
two.
was good at
Fairy
it.
again.
Yeah.
She wasn't
Okay.
good enough to save her brother.
I hate you. I love you, Scott. Go.
And that's another way you could stifle a control player by not letting them draw because they have lots of cards that say draw X amount of cards or draw cards. That's why I'm a personal big fan of Shimmer of Possibility and Drawn from Dreams because they have the same effects as these draw cards, but they also put them into your hand versus draw. Unfortunately, they are at sorcery speed.
Phase opt.
Yeah.
Leave it.
Looks like cheese and bird buns.
Erasure you.
This looks like the top of a bun. That looks like the top of a bun. That looks like cheese. So this is cheese.
No.
Game 1, only 3 lands.
I love you.
Game 2, only 3 lands.
How many cards in hand?
And that was that.
Baby.
You.
Baby clothes.
5.
God, stop it.
I knew
Stop
he
it.
was gonna get mad about that. I was like, oh, this is he's gonna get mad. Watch out.
There's no reason for that.
Are all of your cards in
A2?
Japanese?
Sure.
Only thing I
Exile,
can say
right?
is,
Yeah.
Experimenting with different shuffling techniques.
I already tried that. Doesn't do jack shit.
Go ahead.
for me.
See, I don't hate that art. I think it's nice, but I like the only reason why I like the other art is because that's
Plus
when I
one.
first came across Dotsies.
Glacial Fortress. Go ahead.
2 cards.
He
Yep,
does.
2 cards.
He'll actually come home at night after working, and he'll get out the dice and the paper and all that
How much
stuff, and then
material
he'll
is
roll
there for
something
it to
like
make
it's
something
very,
like so?
very comforting
Only
for him to do that.
I mean, realistically, you'd be starting with.
Inverter.
Jason.
Yeah.
Depends on what type of iron.
Let's see. We are going to. Target me.
Yeah.
Doom
Rat.
Prodigy.
Ah.
KVP.
Well, yeah, I know what Run's Prodigy is.
460
6.
Magnum.
So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Because, well, I have Smith's tools.
Inverus.
So I was going to see if it was okay with Ben.
Yeah, that's fine.
Raw materials. that
Good.
I could
Yeah,
craft
go for it.
to save money.
It's a 50 Smith.
So it would need funds, so it'd be 15 monthly, 30. So 3 gold and like 2 guard swords.
You're halfling, so there's actually short short.
You know you're throwing a fast.
Yes, that was a short short. If you didn't catch it. Right, Ben?
It went over my head.
Pass.
Yeah,
And
you're
step
short.
Exile Juice.
Just my character ready. I'd like
What?
to rage. I didn't do it. Can I roll initiative?
I'm not in that game, so I can make fun of you all I want.
Planes. Plus to fairy.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
So if I
One
want,
card?
if I want
Yep.
2 broadswords, and they weigh about 3 pounds apiece, would they weigh any less for a halfling?
They'll be short swords, like I told you. They wouldn't be broadswords, they'd be
I
short
mean,
swords.
I'm okay with them weighing 3 pounds either.
I mean, honestly,
Because they still would need to do the same damage. So,
you could go as light as 2.5 pounds. Hunty sword.
How tall are you?
Classifies broadsword.
I'm
Back up.
2'11".
Yeah, I discard a card, right?
I'm almost
No,
3 foot.
it's power and toughness for how many rats I control.
okay.
I discard a card, pay
And
3,
then-
and make
yeah.
a copy to
Okay. Yeah.
How many inches is that?
So I was a bit confused about this card because when I last saw this card played in Standard, it was in a mono black devotion deck because of the copy ability. Also copies the converted mana cost on the pack rat card itself. So I did ask him why he did this, and he said it was their version of Mentor or Monastery Mentor for blue black. So that's why he played it, which I think was a pretty good meta call.
make a pack rat.
Yep.
Drag on the ground behind
Discarding a inverter.
They're in a sheet. They're in a sheet.
I want a board back of my burdens.
Coronavirus outbreak.
Nice.
Fun.
Inverter. Another Jace.
Damn it, Mother, may I?
Yeah.
I'll target myself again.
Yeah.
Time doesn't matter.
Without spoiling the outcome of this match, I was actually watching it because my match was already finished. But I will say it's pretty exciting.
So if I pay the 24, so if I pay the 24 silver for material.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll just pass.
Want something a little more effective?
End step. Make one.
Yep.
No, I wouldn't. No,
He's a big guy. He wouldn't do well in prison.
no, I wouldn't.
Fountain tap.
No, I wouldn't.
Yep.
Bounce the token. Go.
Make another one.
Yeah.
Ben, if I gave you my character sheet, would you do like all of the hard stuff for me?
Do you go boobs?
No.
Okay,
No.
no.
Yeah, then no.
What hard stuff?
One
What's
card.
hard on a character?
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time ever making
And
a
it's the
character.
second best card in my
Learning
deck.
experience. It's definitely not hard. It's just a lot
That's
of
what
math.
my dad said about fire.
Yeah.
And then I smell the burning pipe.
Do you have your stuff with you?
No.
The next time you come, bring your D&D stuff.
Alright.
With a little bit of downtime, I'll be happy to explain.
Stick
stuff.
around?
Yeah, that's not a problem. But I'm not going to do it for you, but I will show you how.
Yeah.
D&D and MTG are crossing over again. Why are you surprised this happens like every week?
We're doing a plane shift to.
Wait, do you already have a
Dungeons and
crossover?
Dragons, Mythic Odysseys of Theros.
No, so they're doing a plane shift to.
Like a two-man
I actually
deck,
kind of
so
like
each
that
other.
idea. Theros
that
seems
is
like it'd
pretty
be pretty cool.
It might be alright.
I mean,
Where you are.
Ravnica one makes sense.
it's literally
Oh,
just.
Mono red.
Theros is
I was
literally
gonna play
just
mono
Greek
black,
Mother, may I?
but-
Yeah.
Greek
yeah.
mythology,
I am super surprised that he did not have any counter spells in his hand to prevent this. But hey, what do I know? I don't play control very well. I mean, the closest thing I played to control is Jeskai Fires.
The best is.
Island.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for enjoying this awesome video here. If you do like what you see here, make sure to hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on magic and memes. And we're going to have some upcoming projects in the near future that you don't want to miss out on. Again, thank you guys for joining and see you guys in the next match.
You can, but it won't do dinner spot for you guys. Is that one game one?
Game 2.
Oh, it's game two.
No, that was game 2.
They said
I won
we
two.
can
Oh, you guys
will
won
help
game three,
when
right?
you're
No.
No, I
And
won.
here I thought control was untouchable, and here it got touched. 2-0 stomping is what it looked like to me.